Kukrudu. 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 I think it's 11, right? And we have a whole day's lecture that we have to attend. So bear with me. Let me take just about 30 minutes of your time. Just 30 minutes.
You have all the time.
Just you don't have lectures today, that's why I'm saying that. Only 30 minutes. In 18 days' time. In 18 days' time, we'll be voting for a new president. In 18 days' time, we'll be voting for a new parliament. But the single most important message for you is that in 18 days' time, we'll be deciding your future. So when you go back to your hostel, take a piece of paper and write, in 18 days' time, what would I want my government to be doing for me? Don't say what will the government be doing you. Say, what do I want my government to be doing? Because whether you decide to vote or not to vote, whether you decide to vote for MPP, which are here to canvass, or vote to any other party you like, pick a piece of paper, and today, blank piece of paper, and write, what would I want my government to be doing for me? Because no matter the person who wins the election, is your government. If you look around all the contestants and you look within yourself, which of them would I want to be on the international stage speaking for or by behalf as a Ghanaian? You look at all the presidential candidates and you ask yourself, which of them has the integrity to be able to lead Ghana? You look at all the presidential candidates and you ask yourself, who will be on my side? You look at all the presidential candidates and say, who can be with me for this future journey? Because it's simple. When we wake up Monday, 9th December, by this time, 9th December, the Electoral Commission will be declaring a president as a president-elect. For me, let me tell you a fact. The future doesn't belong to me. Because I am current. The future doesn't belong to Dr. Mahama because he is current. He is the one that is going to lead you into the future. So check all the presidential candidates. Take their picture. Go and look at their video posts. You watch them closely. Watch them closely, all of them. I think they are 30 or 30 minus 1 or something. Check all of them and ask yourself, who can be my father or who can be my mother, such that the person will think about my well-being. All elections is about your well-being. So if you decide you want the person who will open 24-hour disco because your life will be 24 hours in the disco, you have to pay for this. When I was your age, I was in KNUSD, and I had to make a decision at that time. Who do I want to lead the future? I can tell you that time, it was 22 years ago. Or was it 22 years ago? 1992, 32 years ago. 32 years ago, I'm sure 90% of the people in the room here were not born. But I was in your shoes. And I was supposed to choose who I think can lead me to the future. That time there was no test score. But we formed a party, a students group for one of the parties. The party hadn't been in power before. We have only read about them in history books. But when we read their manifesto and we listened to them, and we didn't have a multiple of radio stations, so you have to strive for the manifesto and read for yourself. We decided that the country that can best champion the future of our youth was MPP. So I didn't stop. I struggled to become the MPP leader at that time, students leader at that time. And I was in a medical school. And we were going for lectures every day. We didn't have your day off like you do, my brother. So we were going for lectures every day. And we had to organize the party on campus. And it was not test on commitment, but with little inducement. It wasn't that way. It was MPP. We are going to work for you to make sure you come to power. Because I personally felt, when I look around all the candidates that are appearing or want to contest, none of them could be my father, except Professor everyone. I only wish any of them to be my father. If you can't wish somebody to be your father, don't vote for that person. Simple. If you don't wish for a prosperity for yourself in future, take your vote for joke. If you have gone through UPSA, whether you like it or not, you will finish within the next 3 years. So you don't care about tomorrow. Joke with your vote. Because it was not always like this. Just about 8 years ago, go and look at the pictures of UPSA, if you haven't. 8 years ago. And go and look at the pictures of UPSA now. All I want to tell you is that leadership matters. And it is not 5 people who. Leadership what matters. It is the person who is the leader who will change and better your future. It is not. It is not all MPP people who are coming to rescue you. But it is who that person is. So if you hear that somebody said that I don't care about students going to secondary school, and I'm not joking, go and look at the Educational Sector Report 2015 or 2012. You Google, you'll find it. In black and white, and their parents cannot see. What would you do for them? You know what President Mahama said? He said, I'll let them work whilst in school, secondary school. I'm not talking about university. You will let your son, you will let your daughter, who is between the age of 12 and 15, or 15 and 18, work whilst in school to earn something to pay the school fees. It's there. So if somebody read it and decided that the future of the country is not safe under NDC, you will also have to read and listen to what they are saying now to see whether the future of the country is safe under NDC. Imagine, in Ghana, secondary education is the boarding education, right? Nearly 80% of all students are in secondary school. So, the best secondary school, the best college in Ghana is Prepare College. No two ways, right? No two ways. It's the only college that wins international robotic competition regularly, not once, the frying pan, regular. It's the school of the future. We are preparing prepare students for the future. Imagine there are about 1,500 or so, or 2,000 people in prepare college. There's only one dining hall. And there are only about 10 houses with lavatories, toilets, and buildings. So if 30% of the students there are poor, and you say, and they're in secondary school, and you say they should work in the school to earn money, to be able to pay their fees, what is even the work they can do in the school? Just ask yourself. So remember that if you didn't believe what you are reading, it is that same party that an minister came to sit on TV and said that There's so much work to do. If you like go to the bush and carry stone and come and put on the roadside, if you carry stone for 3 days and put it on the roadside, you will get money and you'll be unemployed. If you can't carry the stone, go and get a sickle and start cutting the grass. Start cutting the grass. That grass is not a conservative we eat it to. The guinea pigs will eat the grass and you get money. They said it. And you can Google. So it is not what they are going to do, what they are saying. So just 2 days ago, the Minister of Finance under John Dramani Mahama, he should speak up. He said it's not everybody who is entitled to free SHS. Why buy the interest fee? Why buy and the interest fee? But the story is even more difficult. If you think, when Kwame Nkrumah of blessed memory introduced partly free education in the north, especially secondary, President John Dramani Mahama, his father was one of the richest Ghanaians, not rich man, no, one of the richest Ghanaians. At that time, he was in a boarding school called Achimota Primary. Only privileged people can take their children to Achimota Primary, true or false? But when his father heard that Kwame Nkrumah has introduced free secondary education in the north, his father took all his John Ramama's siblings, including John Ramama, and all of a sudden, remember that they came from Tamale, took them there to go through free education. And this is the man that is telling you, if you are poor, don't go to school. Not only that, to listen to what they do. Recently, about 3 months ago, he was in Tamale. He said Tamale people are giving birth left, right, and center, and that is why there is poverty. He even thinks that when you are poor, you shouldn't give birth. Because, again, 2001 to 2008, all the people here, I call most of them Kufuor babies. And this is the reason. That is when President Kufuor introduced free maternal care. Before free maternal care, children or mothers will go to hospital to go and give birth. And if you didn't have money, you stayed in house till your family, they go and sell something and come and take you from hospital. And then President Kufuor introduced free maternal care. As soon as President John Dramani Mahama became the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, under President Mills, the first thing they counciled was free maternal care. The next thing they counciled was national health insurance. So even when you are poor, you should not be able to get access to health care. That's what they told you. Then to make it worse, before President Mahama, before President Kufuor came, every child, when you're going to public school, it was called a shift system. You go 8 in the morning, you close at 12. Some come and start at 1 and close at 4. 4 hours of education in a day. That was what they offered. And if you are going to school, you became a power pack because your table and chair was on your head. Don't believe that it didn't happen, though. You find it incredible that it happened, but it was in Ghana. When President Kufuor came, he introduced school capitation grants in schools, and they stopped charging. And introduced school feeding because he felt that some children were from poor homes. Between 4 years, after 4 years of that policy, 4 years, the parity, the gender parity in public school was 1-to-1. Equal number of boys and girls were now going to school. Because for the poor family, if you have 5 kids, he will check, this is the first newborn, you can go to school. This is the girl, let's prepare her for marriage. That is a simple choice. Because there's no money. Not everybody can go to school. This is the 4th one. He's very, very smart, but he's devilish. He's devilish. Stay home. This is the 5th one. He's nice. I'll name him after myself. You go to school. That was the educational lotteries the poor people had to go through. So you see, most families, it will be only one person who will be educated. And I believe in the Bible, and I believe that in every family, God creates the game changer. And if you miss that opportunity of the game changer, that family is finished. But even before that family, the game changer emerges, life's decision has been made not in his or her favor. So before 2016, 80% of the best schools in the Ghana, basically, that's the top 55 schools, right? That is called category A schools. 80 to 90% of those who went to those category A schools all had private education. So, listen, just 3 days ago, I heard Ghana National Association of Private Schools are telling us that they are going to court to stop the free SHS for allocating 30% of placement to poor children who go to public schools. The audacity. The audacity. The nerve. So, if you say when you see Ghana go back to private primary school, how do you go private secondary school? But the reality was that when I introduced 30% for equity, I didn't pluck it from the sky. It already existed, but abused from the well-connected and the privileged. They called it catchment area. So when the children went to do the exams and they didn't do well, they said, old boys, old girls. So when we started Achimota, where were the old boys and old girls? When they started Achimota for the first 10 years, they didn't have any old boys and old girls. But listen to the anthem of Achimota School from Ayawasu. Tell me, give me the words, please. Yes, you, you know yourself. Yes, you, in black shirt, black dress. You know the team of Achimota School, right? You went to Achimota School, right? Get up from me. From where? Listen, from Gambaga to Accra. From Riaso to Kita. We are brothers and our mothers. You know, at that time, when it was long vacation, thank you. I'll give you a present. I'll give you a present. When school went on long vacation, when school went on long vacation, the head teacher of Achimota was mandated to travel around the whole country in search of not rich students, but brilliant minds and bring them to Achimota. That was the foundation of Achimota School. Achimota School was not set up for the rich and privileged. But come to 2012 to 2016, 90% of all those who went to Achimota were only privileged. Omo Papa was going among Achimota. And Omo Papa was going to good primary school, Achimota. So when we started the free education, a head mistress of a certain school remarked, school Ipana, exit, car park, empty, because they're rich. Have not completed the school 100%. Right? So when it is time to vote, it's not a time to joke. That's it. When it is the time to vote, it is not a time to think twice. So if you are in the university and you fall for a Yezu, then you say, Eyazan. If you see anybody wearing NDC t-shirt on this campus, pray for the person. Don't think I'm saying that because I'm a member of the MPP. I am a member of MPP by choice, not by death. By choice. Because I was thinking, if you are in the university and you cannot think, who else must think? Just about 1 month ago, I went somewhere and I said, the reason why I cannot join NDC is that they killed seasoned pastors in this country. They say, Google, UPSA in Kumasi, they killed 78 persons in a 2-week ordeal. Went to kill a policeman in Konfronti, shot the policeman on the hospital bed, and dragged UPSA, tied to a taxi, dragged him to Kweditia, and used him as a shooting target. Killed him, and 78 members of his church. Google. Why? But it happened. So when it happened, I have to know the history that this party has to be careful. Right? Then in 2014, 15, 16, you hear a presidential candidate standing on the platform saying and bragging, my party has got revolutionary roots. We are not afraid of violence. If you do, we will visit you with violence. Then you know that your life is at stake, just as they killed some people. So when I say this is a party that killed people, I'm not just saying it to, I'm saying that we should never forget they did that, and they will never change. I said it, and I gave lots of examples. So if you're in the university, and you can't, now that all the information is on your phone, just Google and you'll find. Don't joke with your future. You are the ones who should go out there and propagate a better government for Ghana. There are people, when I started my political career, I met on campuses because I used to have a love for going to tertiary university campuses. Because if you look at the segment of people who don't vote, they are all university or tertiary school girls. The ladies here, the ladies in Lagos, the ladies in Poly at that time, they don't vote too. Because Saturday or Tuesday, when it is time for voting, no unity. So we have to work extra on them to live up to their responsibilities. I tell you, go and check UPSA where you are. Go and look at the number of students they had in 2016 and check the number of students they had in 2024. You will see the level of increase. Why? Because leadership matters. Why? Because leadership matters. When UPSA was constructing hostels to benefit students, some people, another leadership in another university, had collected money and chopped. But today, Ghana government is still paying. 2 universities. Bakukoji is Kamoede. Where? Bakukoji is Kamoede. So don't take it as a joke about when they are selecting leaders. It is not a popularity contest or a beauty contest. It is for somebody who is going to take decisions on your future. So, when I became Minister of Education, the total number of students in secondary school were about 800,000. Of that 800,000, I tell you, a third will not finish school. Go again to check Google. Every year, the Conference of Head of Assistant Secondary Schools in the North, CHAS, will close secondary schools for about 3 months because government has not brought salvation. When they started school, go and Google, 2015, Okujoto was all over the air. They did 3 rounds of school placement. December, they are doing school placement. So the first term, nobody went to school before Form 1. And the academic calendar for SSS was 9 terms. Form 1, 3, Form 2, 3, Form 3, 3. Go and check. If you see, if your leadership is bad, everything is bad. So first term, they didn't go to school. And when they finished final year, so 3 months out of the 9, a year. Simple reason why students' failure rate was high. So you look at the core courses: English, Maths, Social Study, General Science, right? At no time, before 2016, could they pass back 40% in mathematics? At no time did they pass 45% in English. That is the basics. So where do they go to university? Every year, about 520 to 550,000 children are born. Every year in Ghana here. Leave out those who go to secondary school, go to private school. Right. But BEC, go and check, it's always about 400 and something thousand. By the time they go to SSC, it's almost about 300,000, 260, 270, 280,000. So between that time, how many students are gone? 100,000. And at that time, they don't have a certificate to go and look for work. Yes, someone will come and tell you, if you get free SHS, you don't get work. But I would better have a student educated at secondary level than at the BEC level. Because at least with WASI, at least with a WASI certificate, you can get employment in the civil service. You can get employment in the police service. You can get employment in the immigration service. You can get employment in the prison service. You can get employment in the fire service. You can get employment in customs. With WASI. With BEC, zero. So who has done better? The person who says if Ghana should go to bankrupt and that all citizens should get secondary education, and the person who says 40,000 school children could not access their results in 2016, BEC and SSC, because they couldn't pay examination fees. 40,000. 40,000. Now, BC WASI exams fees are about 100% paid back. The best WASI results ever. The best WASI result ever, right? We count the number of people who get A1, A1, A1. A1 require 8, A1. Happened in the year 2020, the first cohort of free SHS. Of the 465 A1s across the whole of West Africa, Ghana got 80% of that A1s. First cohort of free SHS. The best 3 students in West Africa came from that cohort. And that is the cohort that stayed home for 5 months because of COVID. So don't think that because in the family of siblings, 5, they are never all the same. So why do you say that some gave us doom for 4 years running, and when we asked for electricity, they said, put your mobile phone off. So say, oh yeah girl, now a boyfriend or her, now you move off one. Momo no something like that. Momo no on Saturday aka. So your boy, now or her. Would you have to travel to your home to look for your father to give you money, or you will send a message? And then when we are talking about we are going digital well, then somebody says, in California, digital, you probably take care of it. Oh, you forget that if you take care of fish now, if you're the right one, you come, they will deliver, and you send a message. True or false? True or false? If you want a joint for good food, you go and search, you see, they sell a white chair here. You pick your phone, you order, they'll come, you pay, Momo. And somebody is saying this paralysis. So I'll plead with the students here. Don't take voting for granted. Don't think it's a waste of another day. Don't say that all the parties. He made sure that even for courses that were optional, they stocked school like he is the chief librarian who started stocking secondary school libraries with textbooks. And he'll be in my office. He'll be in my office. There's no book called But you have to provide for him to do his work. So I am very, very proud when he says, and he won the best public service institution award by the United Nations in 2021 in Dubai. Not Ghana. Some are very, very happy to go and call 2 by 4 people and award them certificates that you are the best, you are the best. If you are the best, compare yourself to a standout. True. He compared himself and he was the best. 2021. He even invited me even though I was not the Minister for Education. He was the best. So when a no-mean university comes like Harvard and says, NAPO, you are the best minister for all the Harvard, I have to celebrate it, right? Of course. But it is because I put in the hours. If you want to become a first-class student, you put in the hours. It has never been that there's any sitting education minister that universities would award honorary doctorate. Yes. There were 15 education ministers before me in the period of 8 years. 15! Count from 2001 to 2016. I was the 16th educational minister. None of them got an award for the work that the person had done in any school or anywhere in Ghana educational service in any that time. But Dr. Majopoku Brepta collected it from 3 universities. Not because I revel in that work. It's because I wanted to make sure that the one that I got into the Ministry of Education, I thought about in 4 years, when I'm no longer the Minister of Education, how would I look back and see? One of the biggest issues we had in Ghana was called teenage pregnancy. Every year, these NGOs and COSOs, government papers, graphic, teenage pregnancy, front page. In the last 6 years, have you heard teenage pregnancy front page again? No. Because when only 100 boys were going to, for every 100 boys that were going to secondary school, only 65 ladies were going. Now, with 7 years of free SHS, for every 100 boys, there are 107 girls. Obia going to school. Why am I no better? Why am I not taking advantage of? Right? So those who mothers gave birth to them free, by the time they got to secondary school, and now the Dr. Akufo-Addo had ensured that they will get free senior high school. Now, if you want to check, go to all the nursing schools in Ghana, and they're nearly over 80. 80% or 90% of every nursing school is only women. Ask them what's the certificate. True. They couldn't have gone to teacher training if they didn't have what's the certificate. True. All these things, if they are true, then the government that ensure that at least the basic education that a Ghanaian child has is secondary must be rewarded. A secondary free education must be protected. A secondary free education must be enhanced. A secondary free, at least if for nothing, that your sister or your brother be your brother's keeper would also enjoy it. Don't think free SHS is an end product. Ghanaians are going to benefit more from free SHS in the next few years. Because I went to a village in Sehi. The chief said, I can only wine and I call that 10 Kwachibota. She said, the National Security Minister was awarded by his village because for the first time, students from his village, his poor village, had gone to Wesley Girls. Education is an equalizer, not a divider. Just as digitalization is an equalizer, not a divider. So anybody who doesn't understand that we are in the 21st century, digital world, AI, Google, information revolution, and he compares it with eating, doesn't deserve to even eat the person himself. Because telling that everywhere you go now, everything you want to do, you have to pick your phone. I remember a very personal story. I met a young lady. Said, Rabbi Mose. 3 days later, the friend of the lady called there. Giant or let you. And I was thinking, Google. And I didn't even hear what the Google was. I said, I'm Google any day. I said, Google near ship. No, I show background. One year when you were sitting in Africa. So that is when I realized that was before 2004. That is when I realized that the world has moved on. You can't use the same solutions that were working in 2000 for 2025. You need a government, a man of the moment, a man who has prepared himself for the future. And that person is Dr. Mahmoud. 2 things have happened. In the recent American elections, Kamala Harris said that they are going to introduce drone services in America, like Ghana has done. Just about a week or two ago, in Britain, they said they are going to pilot drone services. But look at what they said in that. When Dr. Mahmoud said drone for healthcare delivery, they're saying, you see, for the uninitiated, for the blind, for the poor in mind, or sick, they will have my too. Fast forward to 2024, a chairman in one of the northern territories, or one of the northern regions, dressed in NDC colors, going to campaign. Now, what can you say? Pa! Oh, dying! And you're rushing to the hospital. Is it venom new? Not only for food, digitalization. But basically, can you go to farmer? I can't give you the truth, so switch off your mobile phone. The doctor used the mobile phone and said, pa, 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 to the drone station. Do you have snake venom? He said, yes. The man was lying there. Who said the elephant, the fan. The elephant was coming. The elephant was coming. The elephant was waiting. Dropped the medicine. They took it, injected him. 15 minutes. Say anything I'm not going there again. Me, I have a personal experience of when government. When we are introducing drones, people were talking about watching women's asses. That is how bankrupt they are of ideas. Listen to President Mahama 3 weeks ago. He said he thanks God that he lost the 2020 elections because had he not lost, and confident Kobe day. See, bankrupt of ideas. But don't take my word. He wrote a book. He wrote a book called My First Coup d'Etat. Me, my hobby is to weekend. So the politics now having. Every weekend, you'll find me in University of Ghana bookshop. Every weekend, about 2 hours. Going through the books, which one I can buy and read. I read like I'm crazy, right? And he wrote a book. There's a copy there, My First Coup d'Etat. You better read it. He said, here is undecisive. Hey, Ariel said, how can you use your mouth to carry such negative news? He's undecisive. Self-introspection. Oh no! He's incompetent. He can't decide. Now the young president of the Republic of Ghana. Now won't be decided. No wonder 3 weeks ago he went to campaign in Western region. In Zema, he saw a guy coming. Was you here about it? Next day the MP. See, look at the infatuation about us. Or see, you share, or to me, share who said the MP not to the chino. Is this a power person you want to lead your country? Is this a man you are confident that when he is in charge, he will be speaking for you? Obia, when the president die, or say Oba or go honeymoon. Why is he called the honeymoon? When seriously, Ghana needs people who are leaders who should be thinking breakfast, lunch, supper. I'll tell you, 1922, you were all alive. The cost of a liter of fuel was nearly 22 cedis. Now, the 22 cedis something. I was the Minister of Energy. Everybody knew that by the end of the year, there will be no dollar in Bank of Ghana. In fact, the governor said it. Said his foreign exchange reserve is depleting, and by December 31st, there will be no dollar. There was panic everywhere. That time, the vice president suggested that we should call something gold for reserve. And that since independence, Ghana is the #1 gold mining country in Africa for years. And since independence, the only amount of gold that we had in our reserve was 8 tons. Since independence, 1957 to 2022, 8 tons. And we should start using gold as a reserve currency to back our city so that the city doesn't fall. Because once you don't have city in the vote, every price will go up. Because all the traders are looking for dollars to go and bring in stuff. So speculation will set in. So Adeno, 1 cedi, he thinks that if he takes 1 cedi for $1, by the time he brings the stuff in, he will need 5 cedis to $1. So today, he starts pricing his things 5 cedis, not 1. That's why everything was going up. So we sat down, and I said, Charlie, let me make that trial energy. He said, gold for oil. If you are bringing, because the gold supplies were bringing needing about $400 million a month for petroleum supplies. I said, if you bring it in, we won't get dollar for you, we'll get gold. Bank of Ghana will use Ghana cedis to buy gold. We won't let any small-scale exporter export gold. Bank of Ghana will buy it all. Within 3 months, petrol price fell from 23 cedis to 13 cedis. And for 2 years now, it's between 13 and 15 cedis. And still, in Abidjan and Nobi, petrol price is 22 cedis. That is a government that thinks. Not one that says, yay, COVID, come to me. When COVID arose, we gave free electricity, we gave free water, we gave free food, and we gave salary to private companies to put their people on payroll. When in the United States of America, they were putting people at home. Every teacher that didn't work was paid. Every nurse was paid. Compare it to a government. Even when but when we did the COVID, they also formed the COVID task force. They never even broke one suggestion. And this is somebody who says he wants to lead you.
Can you believe him?
Please, if you are here, it is your duty to not only stay in campus and vote, to go outside the campus and go and preach the gospel of a better government. Go and preach a gospel of a better future. Go and preach. Madam, who goes through it? Tema, you are privileged. Even in Tema, sit. You know Tema more than I do. 5 years ago and today, look at Tema runabout and Tema interchange. You don't see the difference. MPP has done 5 or 6 interchanges. It's still less than Kofi Dubai interchange, the price. They built Rich Hospital. It was an old hospital built in the 1920s. And they refurbished Rich Hospital. I was a member of parliament that asked the question in Paris. What is the cost of refurbishing Rich Hospital? It's the single most expensive hospital in the world. They built a 1-bedroom flat for $500,000 a year. So, election is not a joke. Election is not what? A joke. Election means you are taking somebody and giving the whole of Ghana to manage. Managing yourself. Look at your. So we say, open this school. Open this school, open by. But don't be join this school 24 hours. Wait a minute. God gave us 24 hours to divide it. Work time is work time. Party time is party time. Sleep time is sleep time. So if you hear somebody wants to leave you in the country, say 24-hour night. The deal, night now. 24, we have 24 hours now. That means Obama, the weather do some you. That is what he's telling you, you are not realizing. Because he said he's resetting us. It's 24-hour night now. Now, what can they have a comment now? The only place to go one night is in the next long. Isn't that for the music, we want electricity? True or false? We don't like light because Charlie, they are new. The conformer ma, and the conformer man. I told you I call club number, I didn't say what I am. The man class in the audience. But even that one, we don't do it for 24 hours. Even for the students who like partying like myself, we just do it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday. Everyone they are bread. What's the class now with that? Actually, there. If you don't chill, if you are in university and you don't chill, you miss your last chance of chilling. So I expect the university student to know how to chill, to know how to do serious work, and to still come up with a good result. You have to be an all-rounder, not a chillers, and fail your exams. I want to PO. So I want to end by saying, I'm pleading UPSA that you are one of the institutions that have benefited from good leadership. You've seen what leadership has done. Today, a building was named in my honor. I wish they are calling NAPO. Because there's only one NAPO. One. But there are many Matobogo preppers. I have nephews who are even struggling. Uncle, there are too many Matobogo preppers after you. But NAPO is unique, right? So I wish it had been called that. But listen. I said something there that was very, very controversial. And it goes to my heart. I didn't call this place University UPSA. I said Opoku Ampoma University of Professional Studies. Do you know why? Everybody here, go and listen to the history of UPSA. It was, imagine yourself sitting here, growing up, and setting up the school. Right? Your own resources, no bank money, anything, your own. Then me, politicians as I am, I said, Hashem, Sakwano, Obana was setting up school, Obama was setting up school. On even one girl, it's my school, because I had the power. It was not about girl, it was about chieftaincy. Because of chieftaincy, the government of the day confiscated somebody's school. But listen to the nonsense. I'm not worried. That one is madness. But 20 years down the line, when the guy is coming back for his school, then the stealer tells the guy, I've invested in the school to be farmer. Just imagine somebody did the same thing to you. Stole your father's house. You didn't know because you were a kid. You grew up and you realized that it is your father's house. And you go to take it. Then the stealer tells you, oh, even though it's your father's house I stole, I'm very, very sorry for stealing. Very, very, very sorry. I won't steal again. But as for this house, I've improved it, so I'll give your thing to you. How would you feel? See, if the country doesn't learn to honor its hard-working citizens, to reward hard work, we will always go back and go back and go back and go back. If we cannot give this university back to the owner, at least we should honor him with a name. We should honor him with a name. There are people who didn't build one university, but there are names our universities in this country. There are people who didn't build a university, but a university has been named after them in this country. When you say it, they say that but because we have to learn our history. If you don't learn your history, somebody who killed your mother will come and kill your daughter. And you'll be cheering the person. It is not to say you shoot, not just so, it is not a joke. If you want to joke with your future, don't think when you're in university, it's your one no. Don't think that after university, that is the end. 20 years down the line, what decision you took today will affect you and your children. And I want you to take a very good decision. By looking, when you want to share, when the one best shot, when you face part that you when in the ground. Now we have all the presidential candidates, 30, Baku, 12. Tomorrow up 12. Now show the photo, what you have done, many that one, running from the Sessiba, President leader. Now, 90% of the time, God will put your finger on Dr. Mahama. This one. Let's look at the tapes. Just look at the tapes. Oh, MDG manifesto is as bad as a play. What is it about food? Meanwhile, your time when you said you were rearing a confirm, you know the reason why government put in hundreds of millions in a confirm. Oh, now everywhere I go in Accra, I don't know the infatuation with nightclubs and chilling. No. Every time in Accra, every joint, they are tutoring a confirm. So government policy becomes, let's rear a confirm. And unfortunately, the confirm flew to Burkina Faso and Libya. And then though a confirm became a national policy because of people chilling. Same one here, very. Sikari is very away. But let's be serious. When you hear NDC telling you and the dollar is 17 cities, say yes, it is true. But when the dollar was forced in 75%, what could we buy with the dollar? 4 years of no light. Every year they increased electricity bill by 50%. 8 years of electricity, and every year you've increased it just 7%. Cumulatively, 58 years of NDC, every year increased electricity by 50%. And out of that 8 years, 4 years, no light. Don't make a mistake. For a president to tell you, Maria can't don't pay no grammar 15. To tell you that when I come, I'm resetting, is to tell you I'm taking you back to doom so. Just in the last 4 weeks, people who have asked me for mobile phone, they all want to upgrade. They don't want mine to go and reset it to factory levels and use it to. We'll be able to phone from Beboa. We'll be able to phone from the iPhone 16. 16 there. Pro, Max as I come. Pro, Max in the hard game. Well, because you deserve the best. I don't have a problem, but you deserve the best. So make sure that the president who will come on 9th December is the best out of the lot for the country. So when we say it is possible, when we say it is when they were cancelling teacher training allowances, obviously your job, you cancel teacher training allowance, you cancel nurses training, but that was not the worst. When they cancel, they said they are replacing with feeding grants. 2 years. Now no one's handing over news. I inherited it. That is why ultimately man debate. Because maybe if I go debate, they handing over those to the pen. Or come, women be or come. Because everything they are doing is in the document, but because they think you won't read. Poor people who go to secondary school is in the document. And when they followed through, they couldn't even bring it. It's called establishment supplies. For 2 years, they never got it. Over the pop squat, I share color. Now it's a wedding dress. There's a famous picture. I'll show it. Not your mama the shoe or the boots he said or the secondary school for where she I can exercise 4, but once you exercise 8. But the graphics that I share front, I can only do it. The government is no joke. So I'll plead with you. I'll end by saying, I expect UPSA students, TESCOM or not TESCOM, to take the mantle and go out there and inform ordinary Ghanaians that 2024 elections, Ghana is at the crossroads. The president who said 4 years cannot be used to do a government says it was another 4 years on the BNA. At least Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I went to be vice president for 8 years. I, Martin Bogo Prempe, I want to also enjoy vice president for 8 years. So I want the president I can serve for 2 terms so that I can understudy and prepare myself. Preparation is everything. Service is all. Respect for each other is the norm that you have to do. And God will bless you. Vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Vote for MP. Vote for us. Thank you. Come. See? He wants to be member of parliament for Medina. He's going to be member of parliament for Medina. Yes. But let me tell you why it's important to listen to this. In 2020 elections, we made a mistake. That we thought it didn't matter. And parliament became split. Now, the other party says nothing should happen. In fact, the General Secretary of NDC, can you believe, is saying that no NDC MP should go to parliament again. But I will ask this question. And sir, if MPs will not go to parliament to work, none of them should be given end of service benefit or anything. So when I go, I will move. What will be parliament? That MPs are not paid ex gratia or end of service benefit. So also we 24-hour disco. But you are getting your discotheque. You are a pair to one. Yes, you may have money again. But he wants to go to this parliament. The MP that represents him and today on the parliament. Yes. No, in America, no, give fake certificate, fake award. Open the one. So, Philly this MP no hand. It's make us and so Jano. So please, take his portrait, take his picture, use it as your DP, sell him. Even if you can't, they represent the elephant. Baby, Australian, and one and my day. Immediately confirming quiet goes down the bureau. Yenny are soon now, and here. If we say coco kitty, yes, you pay coco kissia. If we say precon kitty, yes, you pay precon kissia. What you about? Mahama do bow me and
Where's Henry?
Yeah, NAPO,